You've been hearing the song all day, so by now you know what it means. It's Aubrey and Taylor back again for our final podcast of the day for the GigEm247 signing day coverage. Really, it's been about a quarter signing day, a quarter Brandon Alexander, and 50% Floyd Raven today. And it looks like things are finally official. Floyd Raven has now showed up on the Aggie Athletics page. Things are official from A&M's end. And we just got an exclusive, 30-plus minute interview with Raven himself. We're going to, instead of chopping it up, putting it into an article where quotes get diluted and things get boiled down to a few words, we're going to let you guys hear what Raven himself had to say about the events of today. So kind of leading that, Taylor, your thoughts leading into the interview.
I think it was a really good interview. You got the fans are going to get a firsthand account of what took place over the past 5-6 months. We start off the conversation, just kind of his first initial contact with A&M, coming to the camp, receiving an offer. We hit on the official visit to Texas A&M. We hit on the Ole Miss visit commitment, then the decommitment when he took a visit to Utah. Then we hit on real hard that last 2 weeks leading up to today. We confirmed with Floyd that he committed to Texas A&M during his in-home visit, something that was widely speculated.
It's in certain ways. You'll hear what he has to say about it. He does accept that, there was some room on his own part, an error there that he made. And again, we're not necessarily saying that this is a 100% exactly what happened, but we're going to let you guys, again, that's what 24/7 is all about. We're going to let you guys hear what Floyd himself had to say. Yeah. And so y'all can decide from the interview, what you think, and we'll be more than happy to talk about it on the boards with you guys. So again, we're going to let this roll. You'll notice some cuts in the interview. There were some issues with the audio. We didn't cut anything for content. It was just purely audio reasons, and most of the things that got cut, we had to re-ask anyway so that we could hear them. Yeah,
it was a little bit of mumbling, and it was something that I do want to point out is the fact that GigEm247, me and Aubrey, like you said, we just give you guys the facts, and we just want to point out that, how diligent we've been about this story and how we've been on it since day one, and, I think we did a good job of keeping up with the events as they unfolded.
As much as we could tell people is what's been out there. Taylor's been hinting for a while that something could happen on signing day. And the reason we didn't say for sure is because Raven himself didn't know for sure, and you'll hear that in this interview. So without any further ado, let's play. This is Taylor interviewing Floyd Raven earlier this afternoon.
Floyd, man, we're gonna start off with this summer, man. Coming up to College Station, I know at the time you weren't this high-profile recruit yet. You're still kind of going through the process. You weren't sure if A&M was going to offer you. Kind of just talk about that camp that you attended this summer, where you kind of went heads up against Charles Jackson and some of the other guys there, and what led to Texas A&M offering you a scholarship.
Yeah, well, just getting there, whatever like that with Patrick Lewis and stuff being there, that was a big plus, But just, I really had to see it for myself and just check out the situation. And I think once I actually met Coach Sherman, I fell in love with him on a slick or whatever. And then once I started working with McMillan a little bit during the camp, after, locking down and stuff and showing him what I could do, the scheme, I just kind of fell in love with the scheme and the whole situation and just him as a person. I only had probably about 2 hours or something to have time to really talk to him, but it wasn't really get to know me type thing. It was more of the scheme that we run, what you gonna do if you come here and all this type of stuff. So it wasn't really like a man-to-man conversation about the whole situation, about how things are gonna go and stuff like that. So it was just basically a learning process of how their defense go and all that, and they also let me blend in the things I want to do too. So by him doing that, that was a pretty good thing. It was a whole camp experience. But I think leading up to the offer, I just came there, and just showed what I could do and just basically locked down,
Yeah. I know we've had plenty of discussions just kind of throughout your recruitment, and I know you were real big high on LSU, the SEC and Ole Miss. kind of just talk about your passion, to play in a big-time conference, whether it be the Big 12 or SEC, and how much did the conference really play into your recruitment?
It played a lot at the same time, but then I had to look at the situation. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the conference and all that. Whether you go there, whether you go to, you know what I'm saying, any little small school versus the biggest school in the world, you know what I'm saying? You still got to go there and compete. Because once you get there, you know what I'm saying, there's no looking like in high school, you could look over and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, he ain't taking my spot, he's better than me. But when you get to college, it's like you look to your left, you got a guy that was MVP first, all district, made all state, you know what I'm saying, all the time you look to your left and it's the same thing. So it don't matter where you go, you still gonna have to compete. So about the big conference thing, whatever it was at first, but after talking to a lot of people, just getting my knowledge down about the situation and doing all my research and all that, I had to find out what school. And then after I did all that, it was like, really, I came to the conclusion that no matter what school you go to, you know what I'm saying, is you balling and you doing what you have to do about the whole of the situation. Or once you get there and you're in that predicament, how you handle it, that's what's going to determine whether you're going to the next league or not. So really being in the biggest conference or whatever, it was a factor. But then after, you know what I'm saying, like educating myself more and more about the conferences and all in the SEC, you know what I'm saying, that kind of went out the window on the situation, and it kind of came to, you know what I'm saying, where I felt like home was going to be and all that.
Yeah, and I know this was something, obviously, that came down to the wire for you. Even, you let me know last night that you still weren't sure that if you were ready to sign. We'll get back to some of the factors that played into the recruitment, but let's kind of move on to your official visit to Texas A&M. I know it was a real exciting visit for you. You got to see a great game. Nebraska, you got to see what the Texas A&M defense was all about. Kind of just take us through your opinion of that weekend, how your official visit went, and, just your overall reactions that weekend.
The official visit, you know what I'm saying, I expected, like everybody said, well, when you go up on an official visit, it's going to be this and that. But me coming up, you know what I'm saying, I talked to, my whole situation with getting out is, and it wasn't like all my other visits, I was able to actually sit up there and have time and talk to the players. Then my Patrick Lewis being there, you know what I'm saying, we done became like brothers out the whole situation. So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, he was told a lie or told to say this and this to try to get me at the school. And he was, he was keeping it real. He was telling me everything, play by play, what he went through, how this happened, and everything panned out good. But by me going to our official visit and being up there with the players, spending time with them, actually playing games and stuff with them, talking. I wasn't talking to him in groups. I was going, individually. Well, I don't know him, but let me go talk to him. And everybody had something good to say about the whole thing. But and during that time, during my official visit there, I still was kind of, what I want to say, I wasn't educated about the whole situation about college, because I was getting into it. That's when I really opened up, because like when the season opened up, I said I was going to shut recruiting down. And I wasn't going to cause nothing until about the end of the season. And the whole season, I didn't. The whole season, I just shut everything down. I didn't move forward to nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I just chilled on the situation. When it came around time for me to handle the situation or whatever I did, that's what I did.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to kind of talk about things that attracted you to A&M. With the 12th man and the crowd. What was your reaction to that?
One thing, for that answer, I'm going to answer that short and sweet. I got one word for that. I think the fans, that's like the main thing I got to say about that whole situation is the fans.
Yeah, and moving on, I know you were looking to focus the remaining few months after that official visit, actually a few weeks, to kind of finish off your senior season and then get back onto the recruiting track. Take us up to that Ole Miss visit. You said you were going with a checklist of things that you were looking for. You went with your mom. You went with your girlfriend. You winded up jumping on board with Ole Miss. Kind of just take us through that weekend and why you decided to go in, initially verbally commit to Ole Miss.
It wasn't, when I got there, I ain't gonna lie, I fell in love with, Kick, I guess you could say, coming where I'm from, it was a new experience. The coaches, they were all good and stuff like that. And our mom, she really loved it. And it is a big stepping stool for somebody, really in our family to actually take us to this type of recruitment in football. You know, I was like, I used to, back in the day when I wasn't watching football, when I wasn't playing football my freshman and sophomore year, you know what I'm saying, I was on the computer looking at dudes like, you know what I'm saying, I won't be this dude. I won't be on the front page. If I'm not number one, I won't be up there, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, it happened. So it was kind of a big moment at the whole time, whatever. It just introduced us to new things that just opened up a lot of it.
Yeah. Did you feel like, with your mom and your girlfriend there, with you on the visit, that really kind of played a part in you initially jumping on board with them?
Yeah, just the excitement of something different than what I'm used to. I think that was a big thing too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that I'm not gonna say. I guess I kind of say I got caught up in the moment. If you were on the face.
Yeah, and do you feel like if your mom would have come with you to Texas A&M on that official, that it might have made things easier during the process?
Yeah, I think she would have liked it.
Yeah, and then you again explored your options. You had some big offers come late in December, early January. You took that a visit to Utah, and is it safe to say you enjoyed your time, but Utah was never really a threat?
Yeah, Utah. I won't even step in like that was a big impact, But by being so far and all that, you know what I'm saying, and just talking to family and stuff, like maybe so that was kind of a factor versus me, still having some good schools that's way closer, So that's what kind of filled off the deal with that situation.
Yeah, and then after that, went to Pittsburgh. You didn't really, you enjoyed the coaches and you enjoyed the staff there. You entertained Michigan. And then here comes your in-home visit with Coach Sherman and Coach Williams. Kind of take us through that day, because I know there was some controversy, just different reports. Kind of clear there. Did you commit to Texas A&M during that in-home visit?
During that day, it was kind of, it was kind of a little moment of stuff going on with my mom and coaching them and stuff. I knew in my head, I was going back and forth, but I was kind of more likely leaning toward A&M. Well, I didn't want to speak to them. They asked me, was I coming and stuff, and I kind of kept quiet or whatever like that. But at the same time, I didn't say no, When they asked me am I coming, I didn't say no. So that's where that came from, the controversy with that whole situation and all.
Yeah, and, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I was just trying to clear the air. Just at this point, the process is over, so we were just trying to figure out. The next day, you kind of reaffirmed your commitment to Ole Miss, and then a week leading up, just a lot of back and forth. Take us through, those last few days, and what was going through your mind, and what were some of the things that you really struggled with late in the decision.
This particular school, like I said, the family ain't really never been in that type of position, So it wasn't really like I had really much guidance to figure this out. It was kind of on the dome thing and the kind of in-house thing, I had a couple people that helped and all that, but at the end of the day, everybody have their own opinion of where you should go and where you should do this, So it always had to end up just being on my shoulder, period. So it was like about the whole that what happened after the commitment and stuff, I kind of just hopped on the computer. And I just kind of basically, you can say, lived on the computer for some days at a time, just checking out things and looking at situation and what's going on now, there's a lot of people that throw stuff in the past at you, what they did in the past and all that, but it's the future. If you go, if you go, you lose all your games or something like that, what you going to see 3 years, well, 3 years ago, we went undefeated, well, it's not 3 years ago, whatever like that, and just listen to people how the college system works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You lose, you fired. There's not much you can say about it. And my thing is, I'm trying to, make it to the league and trying to do this type of stuff, whatever like that, so I can, help situations that's probably going on in my life and all that.
Yeah, talk about
my thing on it.
Talk about your relationship with Kim Dameron, because I know he was a major factor in your recruitment at Ole Miss, and him leaving, would that play a pretty big role in you having some second thoughts with Ole Miss?
Yeah, because that was a big factor that too. Because I ended up getting so close to him, and they ended up getting to it wasn't like on the recruiting level, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like brother to brother or whatever, and that's what it kind of came to. And it was like, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden he got fired, and he didn't really have an explanation of why, you know. I felt like that was kind of a turning point, I guess you would say.
Yeah. The A&M staff stick by you through this whole thing?
Oh yeah, they stuck by me the whole thing. They never gave up on me, you know. They always refer to me as, you know what I'm saying, it's always gonna be your decision about what you want to do, you know. So it wasn't a forced thing or nothing like that. It was always good, you know. They didn't never jump on me.
Yeah. Now, you know, talk about your passion for A&M. Was this something that you were thinking about doing on signing day? Was through this whole thing was just to kind of show up and
not necessarily, but as the week went on, like I said, I was living on the computer and stuff. You know, so that kind of eventually happened. You know, but I didn't want to spring it out there and all that. You know, with all the fans and all this type of stuff. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I know you had mentioned to me that something that also attracted you to A&M was the fact that Jeff Fuller was coming back for his senior year, and knowing that he's going to be a potential first-round draft pick next year's draft, that you'd be able to go up against him, you know, as a true freshman and learn a lot. You know, what did that situation have to do with your decision to go with Texas A&M?
I feel like if I'm able to build a relationship, you know what I'm saying, ask for him or somebody, I feel like he'll be able to give me part of this stuff. You know, anybody else on your team, they gonna tell you so well. You know, so this would a corner do to check me or whatever. This what they have tried in the past, but it didn't work because I did this such and such, and I feel like if I go against another receiver that's just as good as him or just as big as him, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, I could try and use the technique that he gave me, and, you know what I'm saying, to try the technique that he gave me to lock him down. Maybe he could, you know, give it to me, and I could use it against somebody else.
Yeah. You know, tell the A&M fans, you know, how excited you are now to be a part, you know, of, you know, the Aggie family.
Oh, I'm real excited. The whole time, you know what I'm saying, I was just peeping out everything. Like, everybody's saying all this type of stuff about this and that or whatever, but the whole word is, you know, I was going to do it, you know. But like I said, I was kind of confused about it. After I had committed again, I said I lived on a computer for a while. I did my research and all that. I stopped Googling my name and checking out all this other stuff and just focused on what Floyd wanted, you know?
Yeah. I mean, are you excited to be a part of, you know, a resurgent defense? And do you feel like you have an opportunity to come in and make an impact as a true freshman?
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I wouldn't have been in that position, you know what I'm saying, to come in and try to make an impact, I don't think I'd be in this position. I'd be in this position that I am today with the recruiting process and all that. But I'm real excited. I'm real ready to get up there. You know, and I feel like I got a lot of connections up there with Patrick Lewis and all that. So I think I'll probably adapt to things, you know what I'm saying, much faster.
Yeah, we're going to recap again real quick and just kind of take us through the fiasco that kind of went down this morning with, you know, the two LOIs that went to Texas A&M and the other one that went to Ole Miss, and kind of what you can talk about, kind of just go.
That situation right there, how I feel about it, I'll discuss anything about it, because first of all, you know what I'm saying, people don't know that I'm like, I mean, I was at East St. John, I'm going to give it, I was at East St. John. You know, our head coach got fired. He always throws a LOI party, a signing day party, or whatever. I was the only kid this year in our 2011 class over that Tucson. I left that school, you know, to go home and visit my mom and stuff like that. So I didn't even go to school today. Today, my day was excused. You know, so as people saying I had this LOI party and all this, that's nothing, because that's a total lie. I didn't have no LOI party. I didn't do nothing last night. I didn't even stay home. I slept by my best friend's house, you know. And this morning, at around about 8 o'clock, my girlfriend came pick me up from his house. I was just chilling with her, whatever, talking to her mom and stuff. You know, it was getting close to that time, so, you know, she's like, well, come to the office. So I ended up going over there, and, you know what I'm saying, she signed it for me. You know, she didn't know nothing about, you can't sign, you got to do this and do that, because like I said, this is our first time being in all this type of stuff. Like, other people, they could see you look on TV, these people at tables, you know what I'm saying, they on ESPN, they getting recorded, doing this and doing that. So their LOI is right there in front of them. They know what they're doing and all that. They getting this help from this and that. My head coach, Larry Dutry, you know what I'm saying, he's been fired, and they could check that. He's been gone, 3 or 4 games before the end of the season. So my acknowledgement on the trip, it was just me and my mama here put together, period. So I got there, whatever, you know what I'm saying? She was like, well, I think she came out. She's like, well, I did it already, whatever. I'm like, what you mean you did it already? And you know what I'm saying? Like, she, just like anybody else, you look at the thing and say, what, solid verbal to Ole Miss. She felt like she was helping me out. You know what I'm saying? So when I finally, I'm like, no, man, like, I didn't know if I didn't want to do that or whatever like that. Then that's when she, you know what I'm saying, she apologized. I was mad at the moment. I just felt like any mother, you know what I'm saying, she was just trying to help me. You know, like, it was a long process, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, basically you guys weren't on the same page about where you wanted to go and where she thought you wanted to go, right?
What you say?
I said, basically, y'all weren't on the same page.
No, we wasn't on the same page because me doing that on the computer, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I was on that day at a time. She's not going to be over my shoulder all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? So me handling my business, whatever, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm stepping into the grown man where I'm putting on my grown man shoes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to handle this situation right now. I don't need my mama over my shoulder to end up doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? Just like anybody else read from I was committed to him, like I said, you know, and she felt the same way. So, you know, she didn't know nothing about it because we was going through this process, just me and her alone. Just me, her, and three sisters, you know what I'm saying? They not, I don't have no older brother that has been through this or no older friends that have been through this situation, so it was just us.
Yeah, and I know that's got to be a difficult situation for you, but now that it's kind of seemed like it's cleared up, have you talked to the A&M coaches since around, 4 o'clock to kind of clear this situation up? Are you clear, eligibility-wise to play for Texas A&M?
Yeah, I just talked to them and all lately. I'm clear and stuff like that about it because they didn't realize, you know what I'm saying, the signature was different and stuff like that. When a lot of them, like, you know, I wasn't even around and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So that whole situation, everything's going pretty good now.
Yeah. So you had no idea your mom had done.
I wasn't even home, and when she came out and stuff, she's like, well, outside. I'm like, you serious? Like, hold on, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? People say this party and all this. I didn't have so much of a part that our grandmother wasn't even at my house.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have none of that. So I'm right now dressed in regular street clothes.
Yeah.
I didn't have none of all this extravaganza and all that type of stuff, you know. So all that is done was just a total. That was I feel like, you know, it was a total lie. You know what I'm saying, about the party and all that, because that wasn't the situation. I didn't know nothing about it. She felt like when she came and told me, I was shocked. Like, me and her wasn't speaking for a while, you know what I'm saying, trying to get all this stuff handled. And she apologized when I accepted her apology as a mother, and just, you know what I'm saying, she happy that her kid, you know what I'm saying, doing something in life, whatever like that. And I totally respected her for it, about the situation. I let her know she a grown woman. She realized, you know, oh, well, you know, I messed up or whatever. My fault, Floyd, and I apologize. And that's my mama, you know.
Yeah, and
I was father for it, and I could see if I didn't have about 5, 6 older brothers that had been through this process and this didn't happen, then, you know what I'm saying, it is easy to point a finger and be like, well, you knew already because you didn't have this experience.
Yeah.
But you could check family history, whatever. There's nobody in our family that went and played top football or something like that. I've been in this position.
Yeah, and we'll end with this, Floyd, because I think we've kind of got this whole situation, wrapped up for everyone, and you got to tell your side of the story. But now that you're officially an Aggie, is your next order of business to maybe recruit some more of these East St. John's players over to Texas A&M? I know you've got your boy Darian Monroe that's got an offer from Texas A&M, and I know you guys are real close. What have you guys talked about, and do you expect him to, be a member of Texas A&M's class in 2012?
He just happened in, the recruit situation. We had our talks and stuff about it. He really liked A&M too, but of course, we got another year, so other schools gonna come after him too. I told him, you make your, and I wasn't able to tell him, oh, I'm going straight to Texas A&M and all this, because this was during my process of still learning things too. So I haven't talked to him yet about it or whatever like that. But he really in love with A&M. He just right now he's focusing on, you know what I'm saying, getting conditioned and all that for this season, and just winning over there at the Wildcats, having another winning season.
Great, Floyd. Well, we appreciate the time, dude. And, we will be in touch soon. And congratulations on your decision. And, we'll be in touch. Okay, man?
All right, coach.